much. AI is here, and I always use an example for that. We usually use computer vision as a proxy on how we are making progress on AI, right? And these are the results for ImageNet, the famous, image classification challenge. And in 2010, more or less, you can see how we started to use neural nets again, right? So we thought, hey, we're going to give it another try to this, and wow, it was getting results, especially when year after year, participants were adding more and more layers in what we call deep learning, right? In 2015, this was a new neural net model. It's called ResNet, Residual Neural Network, and it was basically applying a new neural network architecture to get to even more layers, in that case, 152. With that architecture, we were able to get beyond human parity, meaning that the error rate, as you can see here, is below humans. So it was able to classify images better than a human. And that's cool, that's fun, but the important thing in our role on how we look at this in Microsoft is that the same year we offer that technology as a service in Azure, in what we call today Azure Cognitive Services. So this was 2015, 2016, and the key thing here is that all the innovation that we're doing in our labs, we immediately publish it as part of an Azure service, so you can use that technology. The year, or a couple of years, a year and a half, I think, after that, we did the same thing, but in this case for speech recognition. We were able to get to human parity on transcribing speech to text. And same thing, that technology is now available in Azure, more than 300,000 developers using it. The year after that, just this year in January in 2018, we did the same thing for machine reading. So this is a cool one. So this is getting a piece of text and being able to answer to free text questions on that text, and answer to those better than a human. That's human parity for machine reading, right? And same thing, you have that technology not only in Bing, but also in Microsoft Search, so your enterprises can use that technology in your particular data. Translation, same thing, human parity now on language translation. So, very cool. Do you think this is enough? Do you think with that, you can, oh, by the way, do you want to hear a couple of cool examples here? So I brought just for fun one example. So this is an audio clip that is coming from the data set on the speech recognition parity. So I'm going to click and you're going to hear an audio clip. That audio clip was transcribed correctly. Ready? So hopefully we have audio.
That's about how old ours is.
Did you get that? Yeah, that was the beginning. This is what it says. That's about how old ours is. Let me play it again.
That's about how old ours is.
That is human parity, right? And same thing for text to speech. So let me show you another example. This one, again, available in Azure today, an example of, in this case, a real voice reading this text.
The third type, a logarithm of the unsigned fold change, is undoubtedly the most tractable.
Now the Azure service. Ready?
The third type, a logarithm of the unsigned fold change, is undoubtedly the most tractable.
Anybody notice the difference? If there's anybody noting the difference, then this was a trick. It was actually the other way around. So I play this the other way around. So it's almost impossible to separate the two, right? So that is human parity, and we have that across all vision, speech, machine reading, and translation, right? So again, let me go back to my question initially. Do you think that is enough? Do you think innovation is enough for an enterprise? The answer is no. So right now, if you look at what enterprises are doing, it's not everything focused on innovation. It is great to have access to innovation, but you need to apply that innovation to your business. There's a lot of models on how to model this behavior of an enterprise. I love this one. This is coming from a book, Zone to Win, highly recommended book, Geoffrey Moore. And he basically, in that book, he talks about 4 zones in an enterprise. And yes, there's one zone that is about incubation. It's where your innovation is happening. And it is great. You can use all that technology that I showed before. But you can't stop just there. You need to apply that innovation into your existing business. And that is the transformation zone. That is about taking that technology out of the incubation departments and applied it to your business. And then you have two more zones that you have to play all at the same time. Your performance zone, which is all about your primary business, so making sure that you still make money on your primary business. And then the second one, productivity, which is really about your cost centers, is supporting that business. Now, if you want to apply rule of thumb, if you really want to transform your company with AI, don't focus only on the incubation area. That is where a lot of the activity is now. Go to the other three as well. And the comparison that I use for that, if you go one by one, the first one, when you talk about incubation, that is a super important motion. Don't forget about that, of course. It's about bringing AI to your existing applications. It's transforming your technical departments so they get AI into their applications. And it's also about creating net new applications, like, for example, conversational AI, which are only possible if you have AI. The second one is more about expanding again that into your business units. That is about applying AI into every single business process in your organization. And it's the one where you will see the huge benefit in your organization. And the third one, which I see a little bit like the next big frontier for AI, is really for every employee to embrace AI. It's transforming every function that your employees are performing today with AI. So let me so for the first one, I'm going to show you a little fun thing. So let me show you an example of bringing AI, in this case, to an application of a retail. So imagine that you have in a retail, let me show you this. Imagine that you have a retail, and in that retail, you have like a kiosk in the entrance on your store, right? So as part of this, I'm going to just show you how we infuse AI into that experience to make it better. So it's bringing AI to our application. So it's asking me to take a picture. So let me take a picture. Perfect. So you can see.
Hi, David. How can I help you today?
So a number of things happened there. First, I had like a customized ad, right, with the Xbox One. Second, it's able to recognize my name, and it's a digital assistant that is asking me what do I want. If I look at how this was done, you can see how it recognized my face with my name, if I have a username with that, and I of course, uploaded that. It's recognizing my emotion, in this case, neutral, my age without, I'm not that age, but it's okay, it's okay. I'm 25. I think I aged with the AV problems that we had before, but that's another story. So with all of this information, we're able to create a customized experience for the user. But we can take it one step beyond. This is more than a digital assistant. This is like a personal shopper. So let me try one thing. Show me recommendations for my style.
Take a picture to show your style.
So this is what is going to happen. It's going to take a picture of myself. It's going to look at what I'm wearing. And depending on that, it's going to recommend me like new products to buy. Do you believe it? Let's go for it. There you go. So classy look, classy shirts, right? So that's how it works. Now, how did we do this? I'm going to show you how we did this. So this is not magic. This is actually something that you can do today. And you don't even need deep learning knowledge. You can use our services in Azure to build all of this experience. So I'm going to show you just three, super quickly. So the voice that you heard, that was a custom voice. So you want, when you're creating these experiences, you want them to match your brand, your identity as a company. You don't want a canned voice. So in this case, using this service, you can upload transcripts and audios with the voice that you want. These are two in this case. We created two models. Just upload into the website, train a model directly here. So directly in the browser, no need to create a model, no need to know deep learning, and it will generate a service just with the voice that you want. That's the voice that we use there. The second thing that we did, so the personal shopping thing, how did we do that? We did that first by using custom vision. Same concept, in this case for images. So you upload your own images and you train the system directly in the browser. No need to create your custom model. No need to use any development whatsoever. You can train the system with your specific accessories. In this case, and showing you watches and rings and so on. And then the third thing is that once you recognize those elements, you can use a service like this. This is a service also in Azure that you can use to find similar images in your product catalog. All of that with building blocks that you can use to bring AI to your application. So I'm going to show you just one more thing for fun in this application. So I actually brought, it's amazing that I have problems with AV and then all of this is working. So I actually brought some clothes. This is for real. So I brought this. I'm going to put this on. So this is the commitment that I have for this presentation to work. I'm going to put this on top. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ask for a new recommendation, and let's see if it works. If it works, it wouldn't show shirts. It will show, I don't know what is this, hoodie or whatever. Oh, boy. What can go wrong? Nothing. Okay, I have this. I'm going to put this too. You'll see why. Okay, I need to make sure that the logo is showing. You'll see why in a second. You know where I'm going. Okay, so hoodie, this has to cover the shirt. Sorry about that. Ready? Oh my God. Come on. Come on. Don't leave me like that. There you go. So it's Microsoft swag, right? So it was able to recognize not only the clothes, but also even the logo. So we have logo recognition, so it can recognize your additional swag, right? So all of this, again, all of this using pre-built models that you can just customize for your particular scenario. So, but we said that that was the first stage. That was incubation. That was bringing AI to your application, but we shouldn't stop there. So the huge thing, the big thing is really to transform every business process with AI. So let me go there. I'm going to skip this very quick so we don't spend time here. So what is bringing AI to every business process? So for this, you can think of it in different ways. How to approach my business processes to apply AI on them. And you're going to see mainly in the market two different approaches. One, you go all the way to the left and you focus on using pre-packaged applications for a particular process. Or you may want to, in that case, instead of optimizing your time to market, you may want to optimize your flexibility. So you have a unique process. Those processes that are really adding value to your company, that are really differentiating your company. For those, you may want to go custom. And we believe in Microsoft that this continuum is equally important. So there's no one solution for every process. For processes that are very common, like sales, marketing, or customer service, that are very common and similar in every organization, we do provide packaged SaaS solutions for you to use directly with Dynamics 365 AI. But if you want to go deeper on custom processes, we do provide also all the way to the right with productive services like the one that you saw, so you can create your custom AI for your custom processes. And we believe there's also things in the middle. So we believe that we can make the ones on the left more flexible and the ones on the right more productive with things like automated machine learning, with things like cognitive services that we saw before, or with things like pre-packaged accelerators that we provide for hundreds and thousands of existing processes. So let me show you this one in action. So what I have here is, in this case, the package application for customer service. This is the approach that we use in Microsoft. So if you go to support.microsoft.com, that is powered by this solution. It's also used by, for example, HP for support.hp.com and more companies like Macy's. So what I have in here is a dashboard. In this dashboard, I can see directly what are the emerging issues that my customer service is receiving. So this is using natural language understanding or natural language processing in the back, right? So I see this that is emerging, reset school body 1000, no idea what is that. So what I can do is just drill down. Let me see the details for that topic. Lots of details in here, but I want to show you one in particular. So this is like the flow that is happening, and you see how there are a lot of unresolved cases for this particular issue, and how the virtual agent is not getting any of those issues. So we are not using that virtual agent. So what I can do directly from here is creating a topic that we just identified to attend this issue that we're getting in our customer support. And it's super easy. You don't need, again, you don't need to be a data scientist to create one of these. You have to establish what are the triggers. So what will trigger this topic, this action? You can see that in this case it's as simple as just one. And you provide also the logic. So how is this managing this issue? So, and you do that, you can even create your own conversations. And I don't have time for doing that, but let me show you one that is finished. So you can manage that conversation for that topic, right? And once you do that, you can directly deploy it from here. And imagine a week later, what you will see is something like this. So now you look at the same issue. You can see how in this case, first they are more resolved, that's good. But the second thing is that you see how the virtual agent now is acting like a first tier. So it can manage by itself a lot of cases that are associated with that issue. So this is packaged, all ready to be deployed. One possibility for your common processes. But we say there was one more thing. The last thing that we said is really bringing all of this AI and empower every employee. That is where you can really say that your entire organization has embraced AI. That is the last frontier for your journey for AI, right? And there's a lot of ways that you will see out there talking about this phenomenon, but at the end, there's no way that we can attend the demand for all the AI needs that we're going to have in the market, in our organization. We need to expand AI beyond our data scientists and our developer teams, so every employee can get access to that, and we call that citizen data scientist. And there are multiple levels, and there's a lot of literature in here, and I won't go in detail, but at the very least, you should think about three things that every of these citizens data scientists can do. The first one is super simple, and this is my favorite feature in Teams. The first one is super simple. It's basically using AI as an infused component of your existing applications. So for every application that your employees are using, think of how AI can improve those tasks. In this case, this is my favorite because I use it all the time. This is the new feature in Teams that allows you to blur the background, right? So you can have calls in Teams with that. The next step in that is saying, no, it's not only about infusing AI, it's really about consuming AI. Is directly, in this case, for example, in Excel, you have the ability to apply AI models on top of your data. And again, you don't need to be a data scientist. You have pre-built models in Excel, like this ideas concept. It's basically allowing you to understand your data better by using AI. But you can also use the capability in Excel that is connecting with your models in your organization. So your data scientists can publish models, and then your information workers can consume those models and apply them in Excel. But the last, the ultimate thing that you can do for democratizing AI in your organization is this one. Let me show it to you super, super quick. Because what I have in here is like a next step. So what is the next step? We said infusing, consuming. The next step is really creating AI. Do you think an employee, a non-technical employee, can create AI? We do think that that is possible. And to show you an example, this is a Power BI. So of course, this is not targeting data scientists. You can have business users using Power BI. And as part of Power BI, in this case, I can see my sales pipeline. So the opportunities that I have in my system, in my sales organization. What I want to do is, me as a business user, can I be able to apply and create an AI model that can predict whether an opportunity is going to be won or lost? You can do that. And for that, what we are doing is bringing to Power BI our research on automated machine learning. Let me show it to you. So what I can do is going to the data behind this. This is the data, This is the data behind that report, right? And directly here, you see this symbol here? I can click. I can apply a model that is already created, but in this case, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to create a new model. And in that model, the three things that it's going to ask me, first is what kind of thing do you want me to do as a model? So in this case, very simple. I just want to know if an opportunity is going to be a win or a loss. So that's a binary prediction. So that's the first one here, binary prediction, easy. The next thing that I need to provide is, okay, what field should I use to learn about that binary prediction? In this case, I have a field in the opportunity It's called label, which is the label data. It's going to tell me if in the history, so for past opportunities, if they were won or they were lost. So very easy, next. And then it's asking me, and what data do you want me to use as an input to create this model? So I can use all the data that I want, or I can just handpick the data, in this case, all the fields for the opportunity. And once I have that, I just need to name the model, save, the model will train. Now, it's long, I cannot execute that model here, because what it's basically doing is applying machine learning to find the best machine learning algorithm, and then fine-tune that algorithm with the right parameters. All of that in the background without any involvement from the user. So once I have that, which will take like 30 minutes, once I have that, and I can apply that for future opportunities. So now if I go back to my Power BI report, you see the one on the right, that is telling me basically the prediction of my opportunities. So I can identify very quickly, hey, I have here an opportunity, which is a big one, like a lot of money, with a high risk of being lost. So I want to focus in here. All of that was possible without, again, any deep learning or machine learning knowledge, and all done by a business user. So I want to close with one more thing. Remember my story in the first attempt of doing this presentation? My kid, Guillermo. If we want AI to go beyond organizations, we need to make sure that society can trust AI. It is imperative that we do that as an industry. And the only way that we can do that is by creating, all of us, this entire room, we need to create responsible AI. We need to address all the challenges that AI can bring so we can get trust on the technology. Now, I'm not here for sure to preach about ethical AI. We don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. Whoever is telling you that they have all the answers, we don't. So this is going to be a journey, and we need to learn together on this. What we do have in Microsoft, that we did start super early on this process. So we started many years ago defining our internal principles on how we should develop AI, and even Satya himself shared those principles in 2016. And you can see all the principles in there. They are obvious, right? AI has to be fair, has to be reliable, inclusive, private. That's the goal. Now, what we're doing as a company in Microsoft is really expanding this in two ways. One, we are really focused on creating technologies that can help you implement those same principles. We are working on things like, for private AI, we work on things like computational, confidential computation as part of Azure. Or we work on homomorphic encryption to have the entire AI process happening on top of encrypted data. And we're working on tools, for example, for helping you identify bias in your data and your model, so you can open the black box of a model so you can look at it. But the most important thing that we should do is not really a technology, is to have a conversation, all of us. So not only technology providers, it's also customers, it's also public institutions, it's also governments, regulators, etc. So we can all address this with a common thing. So one last thought for today, if you allow me to close with this thing, is that you saw a lot of technology today. As you bring that technology to your applications, to your processes, to your people, always keep in mind also the culture of your organization. Always think not only what the technology can do, but also what it should do and how it should do it. Thank you very much. Thank you.